Hi folks, I'm Sean McCormick and welcome to the channel. It's Photo Friday, but we're going to talk about Lightroom, some Lightroom stuff, Lightroom problems and a little Lightroom tip about book. I'll get that one out of the way first. So, into the intro. Hi folks, so there's been a problem with the presets. Obviously there's the new presets with Lightroom which are XMP conversions, so that can be used with Camera Raw. Some people have found them that they're either not converting properly or that they're out of order. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I was asked how to get a little help on an idea today, so I'm just going to show it to you very quickly. And it's to do with the book module. In the book module, first of all, we show you how you can create a quick book. Now there's only one image in this set, so if I had more images, the same thing applies. But we'll just show it very quickly. To create a quick book, you select a preset. So this is one I've created myself as well. And you can edit these presets as well. We'll talk about that again. If you go clear layout and auto layout, it will create a very quick auto layout. And I've got standard portrait selected, so it's basically doing a standard portrait. So now I can go in to this image here. And we can see the images in here. This is a shot of Bella. Shot yesterday. Shot with a lot of gels. If you really are into gels and you want to see a master at work, you should check out Jake Hicks photography. And so what's going on with this image here is that I want to do a version of it with a faded background. So to do that, what I need to do is, first of all, I need to have a background because it's obviously filling the whole screen. So I just pull down the padding here, or I can select the template that has it in it. And now I need to come down to the bottom here to background. And apply background globally is generally turned on. That means if I apply a background photo, it applies it to everything, to all photos, and we don't want that, so we turn that off. And we just drag the same image in. Okay, so that's come in again, and now it's updated from 3 to 4 because it's in the two covers. And we can see that we have a faded version in the background already. And by using the opacity control, we can change the strength of that. So that's great, but let's say we want a different version of the photo. Let's say we want like a black and white version of the photo. Now something this colourful, I wouldn't normally do a black and white version of it, but just for the sake of it, let's go to develop and do that. So I'm going to right click on it and select create virtual copy. You can use the shortcut command or control single quote, and that will do it. And so virtual copy is created, and now I'm just going to click on black and white to create a monochrome version of it. So these are using the new profiles. So when you click black and white, it automatically goes to the monochrome profiles because this is a JPEG. It will go to Adobe Monochrome by default if you were using a RAW file. So now we're going to jump back to book. We have this second image here in book. And now what we do is we need to make sure that the image is selected because this is currently grey. It won't allow us to do anything. So you need to select the page so this has a yellow bar around it, and then it'll work, and then we can just drag this image on to the background section. We can see that this is now the black and white version, and behind there is black and white. Okay, and so we can increase the opacity to show that. So folks, that's a pretty straightforward way of doing that. So it's just if you want to have something like that in your books as well. And of course, if you want to add photo text, the text is beneath here. And as well as that, you can also turn on page text as well. So you can have two different types of text on there. So you can have photo text and page text on the actual image itself. So when you need to use the offset here though, because otherwise they'll be physically on top of each other. Bring that up the page. So there you go. So you can edit those just to have two sets of text on one page. But jumping back to develop, let's talk about presets here for a second. Okay, so there's definitely a problem with presets being out of order here. Like this landscape one here is after sharpen. This one has a hashtag in the name, and if I go right click on this and go show and find it, it'll actually show it to me. And so this is it here, and I have, it's just a text file, so I'm just going to drop it onto Text Wrangler. Okay, and we can see it here. And so we can see that there's this name, and there's also like a sort name. Now in this case here, there's no thing called a UUID, which is a unique identifier code. This one doesn't have it for some reason. Alright. So let me just jump in here, and Fuji Sharpen is the one that's before it, so I'm just going to drop that on as well. And we see that this one has a UUID code here, and we go down here, and we can see that it has a sort name of Sharpen and a name of Sharpen. So the name and the sort name are the same. But if I go to one of my own ones here, if we look up here to the Serenity ones, we can see here that one of them is out of order. That's this one here, Arctic. Alright, the rest of them are all actually in order. And the reason why, let me just show you why this one is out of order. Show in Finder. I'm just going to pull this up here and drop it on the Text Wrangler. And jump in here very quickly down through here. So we can see here that the name is Arctic, which is what we see here, but the sort name is Cool Tone, that's a CO, and that goes in here. So the problem with the sorting here is based on this sort name being used instead of the name for sorting. Okay, and that's why they are out of order, which is really, really annoying. Now, you probably saw this last week. I was talking about some stuff from my buddy Nate Johnson. Nate makes that plugin Opal, which I talked about last week. I'll show it to you. It's set to the up arrow key. So we've applied that landscape preset that we saw a second ago. I can pull it down so I can reduce the effect of it, or I can increase it to make it even more pronounced. So it's a great little plugin, really cheap for doing that. So it fades all of the settings that you've done. So we've applied the preset, but let's say I'm going to boost the exposure here just for the sake of it. So now I'll go back to Opal, so we can see now it's changing what's going on with all of that stuff as well. Alright, so it changes everything. So I'm just going to cancel in this case here. So let's go back to the versions of it. So now it's remembered everything it is, so just to go back through it. Alright. So Nate has actually got a script that's going to be out on his website really, really soon that actually will fix the sort problem for your presets now. Now Adobe are probably going to go and sort it out so that it uses name rather than sort name in an upcoming version. Who knows when that fix is going to be out, but in the meantime Nate is going to write a script that fixes that. I haven't asked him how he does it. He probably just literally copies the real name into the sort name and that'll automatically sort it. It'll get rid of the issue. So, because a lot of the way we've done it is that we've named the preset, and then afterwards, so that we physically sort them, is we've renamed the preset file, so that way that becomes the name, whereas the sort name is still the original name that we named it, and that's where the problem with the sorting has come from. There's another thing that we can look at in relation to this about the actual presets, the current presets, the XMP ones and the original ones. So what happened to the original ones? Well, if we go up to our preferences, so we go preferences, presets, and go show Lightroom presets folder, that brings us back where we can choose the whole Adobe folder, but inside here is Lightroom. So we go into Lightroom and we go into develop presets, and let's say we'll grab these user presets where my landscape one is giving me a bit of an issue. Right, so we can see here that they all have this little tilde before them, so they're still there, the old ones are still there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this somewhere else. So I'm just going to drag it out onto the desktop here. So let's put that on the desktop for a second. So let me go to the desktop, which is a bit messy, and because all of my videos are on the desktop when they shouldn't be. So if I click on this, right, and I now get rid of that, so that becomes a preset that we can now import again in a second. And what I'm going to do here with this one here is I'm actually going to delete this one here altogether. Oh, hit the wrong one. Now it's gone. Yeah, it was the right one that was right clicked on. So I've deleted that one. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually restart Lightroom so that they're gone. Okay. Now we saw there was a problem with the UUID on that. There was no UUID on that. And so I'm just going to use my script from the Photo Geek to do a Lightroom relaunch. We can see that one's gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on user presets, import. I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to grab that preset, import it. Okay, now I've re-imported this. It is now in the correct order. There it was at the bottom. And I know I've already done this and tried it, so everything's not exactly the way it was. But if I now go and show in Finder with that, and it's now inside the user presets folder, whereas before it was inside a different folder. When I bring it down and drop it onto Text Wrangler, we can see that it has a UUID. Okay, this is a conflicting one. That's the old one. So see here, this UUID is there, and it's not in this one. Okay, so there is definitely stuff happening that's going wrong on the conversion as well. That's causing some of the sort issues too there. So folks, hopefully you found this video useful. Give it a like if you did, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Keep up with stuff on the channel. There's stuff out on Tuesdays and on Fridays, and of course hit the notification bell if you'd like to get notified of new videos coming online. Thanks for taking time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one.